This video is about transportation resources. So, with this one, I know that we're all familiar, or a lot of us are familiar with the different, offers out there to get around places. So I know with Village, we can use coaches when we have somebody at the time we need a ride, but not all the times that happens. So we have to look outside of just that. So I know some of us use taxis or taxi vouchers. I know some people use the bus line, so that's another resource. And I didn't know if those with the use of the bus look online, so to look on the schedule online or the different routes there. But you could go to indigo.com and find out. You can put Lawrence, Indiana, and you can put like where the different buses go if you aren't familiar with that. Another transportation resource that I know we've talked about or I've heard a lot of you guys mention is Uber, so U-B-E-R, and Lyft, L-Y-F-T. These are things that are called ride-sharing services, so they are a business like anybody else, but they hire and have people who are drivers, and they drive around different areas, and it all goes through a phone app, so something you can download on your phone. And you put your like credit card information in there, everything like that, and then you say how many people you need to be picked up, and they will send a car. They'll send you the information of the driver and their license plate number to look for them, and they will be there between like 8 minutes. Typically. So I know some of you are familiar with that resource, but I know a lot of concerns say it's expensive or I can't afford that, it's too much. Because I get that, it is expensive. It's more expensive than like a taxi or public transportation like the bus. But I thought since this video is about resources and how we can use them effectively, I thought we could work through maybe planning out an outing that you want to do that would probably require maybe a ride-sharing service. So it's not when you have a coach or when your friend has a coach. It's you guys want to go to a restaurant and you want to go by yourselves because you guys can get out. You're independent. You want to socialize. You want to get out in the community. I know specifically at this time we can't really get out, but when the future does come and you want to get out, do some different things with friends where coaches aren't there or staff's not there, I think it would be really cool to use Uber or Lyft. And one way to get around the fact that it's expensive and maybe out of the budget is to get a group of people. So you can get an Uber that accommodates like 4 people. You actually can get an Uber that accommodates 6 people. You just have to plan for it. I thought one way we could talk this out is going through an action plan. So let's say it's in the future where we're able to go out in the community. We want to go out to dinner with a handful of friends from the village. What do we need to do? So first, we want to decide where we're going. So let's say I am planning, I want to go to TGI Fridays, and it's over at Keystone at the Fashion Mall area. So probably like a 15-minute drive from the village. Then I want to decide with who. So who am I going to invite? If I'm going to use an Uber, I know it's going to be expensive, but it won't be nearly as expensive if I split it between some people, right? So, who am I going to invite? Let's plan that out. We're going to do this, okay? When are we going to go? These are all ways we need to plan out our event, our outing. So when are we going to go? We got to tell people when so that they can be ready, so that we can all go, and then we can end up splitting the Uber or Lyft. Then the last one, how are we going to get there? So are we going to use, let's say we're between Uber and Lyft. we can look at both of the apps and put in our location from the village and see, how long or how much is it going to take for both, price-wise. And you can compare them. So maybe one is $10.98 and one is $9.50. Let's say Uber was the $9.50. We're probably going to choose the cheaper one, right? So now we have our plan. We're going to TGI Fridays with our group of friends. So let's say, I'm going to make up some friends. Let's say Tracy, Amy, and Kelly are who I'm going to TGI Fridays with. I'm going to send them a text message or knock on their door and say, I'm going to TGI Fridays. Do you want to come at 7 o'clock? And then how are we going to get there? We're going to go through Uber. So you each owe me $3, let's say, because you split it up between 4 people. That's one way. Guys, that's super easy to make our action plan, and then we get to have a fun event with our friends. I know a lot of you want to get out in the community and do things, but sometimes money holds you back. But when you think through it in a way that you're planning ahead of time and so you don't get overwhelmed in the moment, that way you can accommodate for that charge of an Uber because you're splitting it between multiple people. And then you get to have a really nice dinner with friends and you get to get out a little bit, okay? So I think that's an awesome resource to use, our action plan. And with that, I know that we are kind of stuck inside right now, but what a great time to maybe think of places or things you want to do when it's safe to. So maybe when it's safe, it's probably going to be warm out, hopefully, with spring. So maybe you can start planning your own event that you want to invite friends to. So maybe you want to go get ice cream. That's where I was going with the warm thing. So maybe you're going to go get ice cream with a group of friends and you're going to use an Uber, but it's okay because you're going to split the cost. This is a great time to kind of plan some events that you're going to do and ways you're going to become more involved with your community and fulfill those roles you guys want as being friends with new people. So I would say this transportation resource is something that a lot of you have vocalized to me that you would really want to try to use. And two, I know Marici Rides is becoming more and more developed, and Colleen recently just told me 28 volunteer drivers have signed up. So it is coming in the works. It's developing. So that could be a possibility too. Planning out your future trips or things you want to do when Marici Rides is up and running and working for you guys, okay? So keep those resources in the back of your mind, and I know we can't really use them right now, but once we can, it would be a really great time to try them out and fulfill those new roles that you guys want to be and want to do.